Hello there guys, it's Stephen here, back with another video. The season is upon us. 2018-19 season is finally here. So Manchester City are about to defend their Premier League title. So for today I'm making a video looking at all the ways Guardiola could set up his team this season and look at that crazy squad depth that we've got. And don't forget, if you are new to this channel, click that subscribe button for all Manchester City updates, all fan content, all reactions, previews, academy stuff, basically everything you want from Manchester City. But let's look about all the ways that City can play this season under Guardiola. Now I think it's fair to say we've got absolutely loads of options this season, loads of different ways that we can approach games. I suspect it'll be pretty fluid, and what we start with the ball compared to what we've got without it will be totally different from game to game. It's Guardiola, so we know how fluid his formations can be. I suspect we'll see different formations for different games, horses for courses, all that kind of stuff. It'll depend who's available in the squad. And as for a starting 11, I will try and approach that, but it's going to be very difficult, so keep watching until the end of this video. But firstly, I'm going to go for the standard 4-3-3. Now this one is kind of self-explanatory. I think for all these formations, Ederson is obviously going to be in goal. Bravo looks in quite decent form in pre-season, but it's going to be our man Ederson because he's absolutely essential to how Manchester City play. He's essential to our style, and he brings that cool, composed air that we all absolutely love. On to right back, it's going to be Kyle Walker, let's be honest. Danilo could be useful going forward this season, but I think it's going to be Kyle Walker. On to the centre-backs, I think it's going to be any two of the following four, really. Stones, Kompany, Mendy, Laporte, any two of those four, and I'm happy personally. Then on to left back for this formation, it's going to be your man Mendy, who's finally back into the team. And then in midfield, if we're playing 4-3-3, I wouldn't be surprised to see the likes of Fernandinho, De Bruyne and David Silva once again. Maybe we'll see Bernardo Silva in there for David Silva, given the fact that his form's been sensational. And I think sadly David Silva's form may start to dip a little bit this year as he gets older. Maybe not, fingers crossed he won't, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Bernardo in there given how good he looked in pre-season. But I think that midfield kind of picks itself if we're playing 4-3-3. And it's out wide where it gets really interesting. Your new man Mahrez could be playing up there instead of Raheem Sterling, but I think in general there'll be a lot of rotation going here, and it could be the first time Guardiola really runs with inverted wingers. Now we've got the fullbacks to overlap. We could see Sterling on the left, Sane on the right, Mahrez on the right. We could see people cutting in from either side, which we've not seen a lot of at Manchester City under Guardiola, but now we've got the fullbacks that can actually get forward and overlap. We could see that season. I'll still go with Sane on the left though for now, and Sterling and Mahrez there battling between the south. And obviously in the centre, well, it's obviously going to be a man Sergio Aguero if he stays fit, with Gabriel Jesus fighting him for that starting spot. It's the next formation that's really interesting for me, and one that we could see absolutely loads of this season, the 3-5-2. Guardiola's insinuated that we could see a bit of that, or at least maybe not 3-5-2, 3-4-3, but I'll get onto that in a bit. Guardiola said that we could see plenty of this season. Now we've got Benjamin Mendy, and he was great in the Community Shield game against Chelsea, bombing forward, showing all that pace that we missed last season on the left flank. Dealt for all of his skills, and he's a great footballer. Didn't offer that overlapping threat that Mendy can do, and Walker we know can do that. He's done it all his career at Spurs. I suspect those two will be the biggest change for this system. As a free centre-backs, if we're playing a 3-5-2, we want the ball players there. I think that much is pretty obvious. It's going to be Stones, it's going to be Laporte, maybe then Mendy or Kompany depending on fitness. But I wouldn't be surprised in a slight change if we saw someone like Fernandinho drop into the back three in this situation, because he's got that now. He can step into midfield when we got the ball, just leaving it as a back two centre-back pairing, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gives us more options there. That would then free up a midfield to go with all your creative players, your De Bruyne, your Bernardo, your David Silva, your Gundogan's potentially, though I still wouldn't be surprised if Fernandinho was actually there instead. It basically leaves the two. Now the two, I don't think personally will be two out-and-out strikers. I think it'd be an Aguero and then a kind of free-flowing number 10 behind him. What kind of number 10 you want in this system is entirely up to you and Guardiola, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Bernardo Silva there, or maybe a Mahrez. But then if you wanted pace and incisiveness, someone to run off Aguero, it could be Sane or Sterling. Basically, we've got a lot of options. It's the 3-4-3 that I'm really interested in personally. This could be a very different thing for us this season. It's a way of getting all of our attacking players into the team. Obviously, once again, it's going to be Ederson in goal, and then the back three of the ball-playing centre-back, Stones, Laporte, then one of Kompany or Mendy. It could be Fernandinho, but I think it'd be actual three centre-backs in this instance. And it's the four where it gets really interesting. Now, at Monaco, Bernardo Silva did often play on the right of a midfield four there, and I suspect he'd do something very similar again in this. Obviously, he'd be given the licence to kind of cut in and just basically wreak havoc where he wants. And I think that forward would be really fluid. I wouldn't be surprised to see Fernandinho alongside him, and then De Bruyne so in the middle, and David Silva nominally stationed on the left, but once again just going wherever he wanted to. If we had a four there, it'd be totally loose to get where they wanted to, and then he'd be on the three further ahead of them. Now the three further ahead, they'd be up there alongside Aguero, definitely. Obviously, Aguero being the main striker through the middle, but they're expected to get back the two wide players and help defensively as well. And therefore, I could see actual wingers with pace out there, the likes of Sterling and Sane, just to get in behind the defence. I don't think we'd need, personally, Mahrez in that kind of system, because we've got the trickiness of De Bruyne, David Silva and Bernardo Silva behind him. I think in general, we just need a bit of pace up there, and pace to get back and defend when they need it. Though we could end up seeing we had the midfield for the likes of Mendy or Walker out on the wide. Though personally, I think you'd go for all the midfielders in that instance. And I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to get loads of criticism for it, but the squad depth is absolutely amazing. If I was to pick a starting 11 for a big game, I'm just going to be safe for now and go with the 4-3-3. I think our starting 11 last year basically is what it'll be this year, but maybe with one or two changes. I think Ederson in goal is an absolute given. Let's be honest, we all know that. I've said it a billion times in this video already, but he's on number one. It's indisputable. And then I think Walker, even though Danilo would be great in some of these systems, I think Walker would be the first choice right back in the system. And this is where it gets interesting for me. I honestly think now we're looking forward, and I think it's what it should be. I think Stones and Laporte should be our starting centre-backs. I know that means no Vinny in the team. I know that means that's just an end of an era kind of situation, but I think we've got to do that. I think we have to look forward now. Stones looks in imperious form. He genuinely looks great there. Laporte alongside him is a ball-playing centre-back, a left-footed ball-playing centre-back. It just makes sense. To me, that's what I would go and start to work towards the future. Having said that, if he plays Kompany or Mendy, given their form last season, I wouldn't really complain. Both excellent players who won't let us down. Mendy at left-back is just an absolute given. Let's be honest, quality left-back, and fingers crossed he stays fit for the whole season. But then midfield, I think it just picks itself, really. I mean, Fernandinho, De Bruyne, David Silva, though it could be Bernardo Silva. I'm going to let you choose that one. You tell me who you think should be in that extra attacking midfield role, but I think Bernardo might actually get it. For now, though, in this team, I'm just going to put David Silva in there out of loyalty to Merlin, because he's a fantastic player. And then going forward, I don't think in a big game it would change. Maybe Mahrez over Sterling, maybe, but depends on his form goes. But I think Sterling's going to be in there for now, and then Sane, and then Aguero. So basically, it's what it was last season, apart from the defenders who've changed up around a little bit, and maybe Bernardo instead of David Silva. But if you look at the squad depth in general, though, in keeper, we've got obviously Bravo and Grimshaw there as the backup to good goalkeepers. Bravo, maybe not the best anymore, but he'll still do his job if you're called on. And at right back, Danilo, I think he could be great in one of these 3-5-2 systems. He's probably better going forward than Walker is naturally. He's just great at bombing forward. He ended the season really well. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get plenty of games there. And Luke Bolton as an auxiliary backup, he was excellent in pre-season. It's a shame he picked up an injury just before the Community Shield game. Obviously, the backup left-back options are Fabian Delph, because he's stayed around, he's excellent, he's a quality player, a very different kind of left-back. And if he plays, it'll be a different system to the one that we use with Benjamin Mendy. I'm almost certain, because he offers a very different kind of style of defender, a very different style left-back to Benjamin Mendy. Zinchenko as well, he's hung around for a season, so he's another option there potentially. In midfield, it gets really interesting. Obviously, we didn't get that backup number 6. We didn't obviously get Douglas Luiz a work permit, so that option there, well, we've got a few players could play there. Pep said Stones could play there. I reckon it'll be Gundogan before him. Gundogan had some good games last season at number 6 there, and he'd be my choice for that as well. And given the fact that we've got Claudio Gomes as well, a very highly rated prospect, he could be a potential option if we need someone else. Foden obviously is now part of the first team. He was great against Chelsea in the Community Shield. He's a kind of player who'll get more trust this year, I think it's fair to say. He'll be an option alongside the likes of Kevin De Bruyne or David Silva or someone. And I think in general, as he gets bigger and stronger, he'll play more games. He'll be someone that rotates for the lesser games maybe, and I'm sure we'll see him on the bench getting games this season more regularly than last year, and that's all he needs this season in my opinion. But obviously Bernardo, I see him now as a central midfield after how excellent he was against Chelsea. He was fantastic in pre-season playing centrally, and he's obviously got the skills to maybe one day, hopefully, be the long-term successor to David Silva. That's saying something, isn't it? Obviously, Mahrez as well as an option, maybe centrally. He plays on the left against Chelsea at some points. He can play on the right, as we know. Maybe he can play as a second striker. Gabriel Jesus, I'm sure, will be on fire this season. I'm sure he'll have a point to prove after Brazil's World Cup exit. And then obviously we've got Brahim as well. We don't know what's going to happen to him. As this video stands, he's not signed a contract yet, but he looked great once again in pre-season. A very exciting little player. Basically, we've got a lot of options in this team. It's a Manchester City squad brimming with potential. I'm sure most of them will be trying to go up a level after last season where they were fantastic, if we're being totally honest. We've got players now in the second season, the likes of Ederson, Walker, Laporte. Laporte feels like a new signing because he only played half a season. He was just kind of there as City romped to the league. And Mendy as well. It's like a new signing, that one. Bernardo, second season. Basically, we've got players who've got loads to prove. There's no reason like De Bruyne as well can't go up another level. And Aguero, if he stays fit, could be banging 40 goals a season easily. Anyway, guys, that's just my take on it. What is your starting 11? It's absolutely impossible to predict. We've got loads of potential set up systems. It's going to be very interesting to see how Guardiola approaches this season. Anyway, guys, let me know what you reckon. Get subscribing if you're new to this channel. Drop a like in this video, and fingers crossed we'll beat Arsenal tomorrow.